So let's minimize these, and inside app folder we need to create a new folder here called create team, and inside it we need to create a file called page.tsx file. That is a special file name that will allow us to visit that route. So let's create it. Export default async function called create team, and it will return a div saying this is a create team page. So now let's save it and visit it. So localhost at the create team, and it is saying this is a create team page. We also need to add some classes here, that is flex1 and overflow auto, to make the page height, that is create team page height, match the screen height. So if I now save it, okay, everything is good. So now let me just quickly create the create team page for you. But before that we need to actually commit the changes. So let's just cut it from here and paste it in notepad. Okay, it's notepad. Paste it here and save. Let's not save actually, let's just delete it. Okay, then we need to commit the changes of our database structure. So let's git status, and we have modified a type user file. Okay, this is totally fine. Let's git add, git commit. We are on the main branch, so let's commit add database, actually MongoDB database structure and types. That is fine. So let's git push also, git push origin main, and let's look our GitHub repository, add MongoDB database structure and types. So let's look at our types for confirmation. We have team.ts file. Okay, everything is good. So now let's create a new branch here. So get branch and call it create team page feature and switch to it. Okay, something went wrong, so git status, let me just run git status, git branch, let's add it, create team page, actually we need to pass it like this, create team page feature. Okay, now the branch has been created. Let's look at it. Let's switch to it, git switch, create team page feature, and we are on the branch. Let's git status. Okay, now let's create the folder here called create team, and create a new file here called page.tsx and paste the content here. So let's remove our notepad here. Okay, everything is good. If I now refresh the page, okay, nothing is shown. Okay, we have restarted our dev server and everything is working fine. So let me quickly create the create team page. So I have created our create team page, something like this. We have create team title here. We have country selector, game selector, required rank, platform, team name, team website, description and experience. That's all we need, I think. Let's check the types here. Team.types, we have name, game, website, platform, captain ID, okay, required rank and description experience. Then we have members. So let's close this, and we have a create team form here that includes the states here and action here that we have not created, that's why it's commented. We need to create the action, and here is the states here: country, game, required rank, platform, name, website, description, experience. And this is the whole code I will show you, so you can pause and see or later you can just copy it from the GitHub repository. That will I make public. So here is the code. Okay, now let's just create the action here. So we go to actions and create a new file here called team.ts and create a new action here. So export async function. Let's say it create team action and it will receive previous state of type action state and a form data of type form data. It will return a promise of action state. Let's just return it. Let's first create the errors array, const errors of type string array and initialize with empty array. So we can just return success as false, errors as errors, and message as empty string. So now let's create the variables here. Const name equals form data dot get, and this is name as string. I will quickly make it to save your time. Okay, so I have added our variables here, name, website, country, etc., and the validations for them also. So everything is covered. You can look at the code, and here we need to create the team in our database. So before that, let's just update our create team here with action. So let's remove this, and here we need to add a custom action here. So async function custom action that will receive previous state as action state and form data as form data. So it will also return a promise of action state. Let's return the action here, return await. What was the action name? Create team action, and it will receive previous state and form data from the custom action. Okay, everything is great. Here we need to append our captain id referred as user id. So form data dot append user id, and somehow we need the user id here that we can have from prop trailing here. Let's just say user id here, and from user id of type string maybe. Okay, we then need the user id here, and it is complaining no overload matches this call. Actually we need to pass the custom action here, custom action. Okay, we need the curly braces here, so let's add it like this. Okay, now the error has gone. Also we need to remove the commented here, the errors, so we don't need to comment this anymore. So let's save it, and we need to update the action here of our form to form action. So in this create team form, we added a custom action here instead of create team action directly in the use action state, because we need to append the user ID here that will be passed in the action and called as captain ID that we will store in our database. So let's pass the user ID here. So user ID here that we can from the session here by using the AuthJS.dev library here. So let's just say const session equals await, or this is a function we need to call for getting the variables. So then we have const user id equals await get user id by email, and we need to pass the email here. So session dot user dot email, and we need the exclamation mark here. And then we need to create this function in our lib MongoDB files. So where it is lib, then we have MongoDB auth and client. Let's just create a new file called user.ts and create a new function here. So export default async function, and let's call it get user id by email. I think this is what we have called it, get user id by email, and it will receive an email of type string. Then we need the client here, so const client await get MongoDB client. Then we can copy paste some of these try catch block. Let's just paste it and format the code. Then we need the user here, so find one. We only need the email here. We need to import the user type, and we need to update the error messages failed to get user by email. Not user but user id. So this function will return a string or object id. So promise, let's return a object id here. We can simply return the user id, so user dot id, and let's mark it with exclamation mark. So save it, and let's import the function here, and let's just console log if this is working or not. So console.log user id, console.log user id. If I save it, and we need to pass it here user id as string, so to string. If I now look at our console, okay, we have some error, cannot read properties of undefined toString, because currently we are not logged in, I think. So if we go to auth login and then login with correct details xyz@gmail.com and password as 123. If I log in and go to create, let's open the console. If we go to create team page, create team, and we are seeing a object id here, new object id this. So our function is working fine. So let's remove this and let's save it. We have done a lot of work, we need to commit these changes also. So let's first commit the changes here. So if I run git status, we have new files here, lib mongodb user.ts components create team team.ts. So let's commit all of these. Git add dot git commit dash m, and let's just say create 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 team page and add get user by id method in create create team page and lib mongodb user.ts file. This is gonna be fine. So if I now check it log one line, do we have, okay, we have head pointing to this branch and we have successfully committed it. So let's run git status one more time, nothing to commit. Let's switch to main branch and merge the changes. So git merge create team page feature, okay, fast forward merge. Let's git status, nothing to comment. Git commit, let's just push the code to origin. Git push origin main. Okay, let's refresh our repository here. So refresh, we have create team page and add get user id, get user id, not get user by id. Actually we need to change the commit message somehow. Let's just try to run git commit amend maybe. So if I run this, we need to update our commit message here, create, and let's just look at waiting for your editor close file. Let's just edit the message, create team page and get user id by email method in create team page and this file. So if I save it and close it, everything should be fine. Let's look at the log, git log one line, and we have a message here, creating page and get user id by email method in. Okay, so we are successful in renaming our commit message. So let's git push main also, git push. Let's first run git status. Okay, nothing to commit. Let's just git push origin main. This may give us error maybe. Okay, we are having error. We need to git push origin main as force. Okay, we have successfully pushed. Let's refresh and let's check the commits here. Okay, we have create page and add get user id by email method in creating page. Okay, everything is fine, nothing is broken. So let's start adding team to our database, but before that let's just quickly console log the variables to see if all are working or not. So console log properties, and we have console.log. First is name. Let's just copy them, and this will be country, platform, game, website, then rank, then we have captain id, then we have description and the experience. So let's save it and open the console window. Now let me just refresh the page and select values in our form. Country India, game Valorant, minimum rank silver, platform PC, team name will be, let's just say Rangers, and website will be rangers.com. Description will be sample this and sample experience. Let's just click on create. Okay, nothing has happened. Okay, there are some errors. Please select your game, please select your country, please select your game platform, please select your minimum required rank. We have 4 errors related to the select tag. So let me just look at it. Okay, I have resolved the error. The error was that we need to mark this as use server because it is a server action file. We need to add this line of code use server that allows Next.js to read it as server action. So if I now select here India, Valorant, Iron, let's select silver maybe, and PC, if I now click on create, the variables are now showing correctly. So now let's work on adding the create team in our database. Let's remove all of this. Do we have id also? Okay, we also have the captain id here. So let's create a new object called new team, and this will be of type team type maybe, and let's just initialize it here. So it will have a name, website, platform, then a game, then maybe required rank. So we are seeing some error on the website, cannot find name website, website not, it is website. Very little may know known is specified non-properties website does not exist in. Okay, we have some spelling mistake I think. Okay, Okay, we have spelling mistake here. It is website. Let's close and add the rest. Here we have captain ID, then we have description, experience, and members. We have captain ID. The type string is not assignable to type object ID, and we are fetching it as a string, but it's saying captain ID. Okay, we need to convert this into object ID. So object ID, so captain ID as object ID dot create from hex string and pass the captain ID here. Okay, this is now everything fine. Next we need to create the members. Here it is an array of objects, that is members will be, what is the role will be as captain, so team members role type dot captain, and the user ID will be, let's add the user ID above. User ID will be captain ID, that we need to convert object id dot create from hex string, and let's convert this. Okay, now everything is fine. Okay, we are missing a curly braces here. Okay, if I now save, everything is fine. Now let's create a function called create team in our lib mongodb files. So let's create a new file here called team.ts and create a new function here called export async function create team, and it will receive a object of type team type, and it will return a boolean, that is boolean. So let's add the client here, await get mongodb client, and let's just copy paste the try catch block. Let's close this and paste it here. Let's format it correctly, and here we need to register the user. So const result equals await db dot collection of type team type, and collection name will be, let's call it teams. Let's look at our database structure. So here we have teams name. Okay, let's call it teams, then insert one, and we need to just pass the object here new team. Then we can just return the result, return result. Let's remove the result dot acknowledged. Okay, and also we need to update our users array with the teams array, because we have a teams array here in the users collection that a user have created teams, so we need to update this also. So not let's just return here, we need to check if result dot acknowledged is true, then we need to update the, let's add a comment here, update user, update users created teams array, and let's just say const, let's just rename this to insert result, insert result dot acknowledge. So const update user result equals await db dot collection of type user type, and collection name is users. Also we need the user id to filter it, so let's add user id here, comma user id of type object id from mongodb, and we need to update one. Let's pass the filter with underscore id as user id, and dollar set here, actually not set, it's add to set, and we have teams here, and we need to pass the new team id here. So insert result dot inserted id. I think this is the correct code. Actually we need to pass an object here, so instead of this, let's say teams, and inside here we need to define a user id maybe, or team id, and that is result dot, actually it's insert result dot inserted id, and the role will be, let's just say, team member role type, actually not team but user, teams role type dot captain. I think this is the correct code. So we need to check again here, if update result dot acknowledge is true, then we need to return as true, and else we are going to just return false. Okay, so our create team function is now ready. Let's add it in the team section. So here we are closing our object, then we need to const result equals await, then we need to call the function create team from lib mongodb team, then we need to pass the new team here, so new team, and one more thing, that is user id. We can fetch the user id from new team object only, we don't need extra parameter here. So let's delete it. We can just say team new team dot captain id. Okay, so let's remove the comma from here, and let's put a statement here. If result is true, then we need to return successful message. So success is true, errors has errors, and message as successfully created the team. Okay, and if there is any errors, we can just return the false here, errors, and messages as empty string. So now let's test it. Hopefully all things go on right. So now let's test it. Open our console here. So now let's refresh. Okay, now select India game tech. Let's select Apex Legends. Minimum required rank gold. Platform PC. Team name will be Rangers. Website will be rangers.com, and description Rangers description and Rangers experience. So if I click on create, it should create. Okay, we are seeing the successful message, successfully created the team. Now look at our database here. If we refresh, let's click on browse collections. We should see a teams collection. Okay, we are seeing teams collection. Name is Rangers, website this, platform PC, and game is Apex Legends. Required rank gold. Captain ID is this. We need to verify it. Then Rangers is this. Rangers description and Rangers experience. We have member and object, that is user ID. User ID is correct here, and role is 0. Okay, so our enum is converted into numerical values. That's totally fine. Let's verify the user ID here. 77C772 and 8EDE. So we have C772 ID here, and 8D2 something, 8EDE, role 0, 8EDE, team ID. Let's confirm it. 8ED. Okay, we are successfully created the team here. Okay, so now everything is fine. Let's commit the changes here. So let's get status here, get status, and we have modified the actions file team.ts and types team.ts, and a new file in MongoDB team.ts. So let's just commit it, git add space dot and git commit dash m. Let's say create team, create create team page in project. Okay, so successfully committed. Let's merge the changes by switching to main branch. Git, what is the branch name? Create team page feature. Okay, auto merging teams, conflict, merge conflict in actions. So, okay, we have conflicts here. Automatic merge phase, fix commits. Okay, we have some conflicts here in team.ts file. Okay, we need to accept the incoming change here. Maybe that's what. Okay, we have accepted it, and also we need to accept here, accept incoming change. So if I now look at our code, everything should be fine. Okay, everything is fine. Let's save it and look at our git bash. Okay, automatic merge fail. Let's once more git status. Both added actions team.ts changes to be committed. We have added here. So let's git commit dash m and say solve create team page merge conflicts. Let's commit it here. Committing is not possible because you have unmerged files. Okay, we need to add first. So git add, and then we need to commit this. Okay, we have committed it successfully. So git status now and git switch create team page feature. Git status here, nothing to commit. Let's switch to main and look at the logs. We have create team page in project, solve create team page, merge conflicts. Okay, everything is good. Now let's delete the branch here. So delete branch dash d, and it is create team page feature and git status again. Okay, everything is good. Now let's push the code to GitHub. Git push origin main, and everything is fine. Git status once more. Everything is fine. Let's check the GitHub repository. And if we refresh, solve create team page, merge conflicts. And if we look at our, let's look at our let's look at our lib folder here, lib MongoDB and team.ts file. We have update result.acknowledge return true, and we have insert team here and update user here. Everything is fine. And also we need to push an error when the result is false. So let's do that. So if result is false, then we need to push an error here. So errors dot push and say failed to create team. Let's just say that only, and we can now save, and just everything is good. So we have created our create team page. Next we need to create a create gaming profile page for our user.